What's happening now? What's the problem? What can be solved now? Okay, what's happening now? What can be solved now? Okay, and you'll find it's usually not even now. It's what can be solved, because we can't solve the past. We can only solve the present moment problem, right? And then what you start doing is you start in here brainstorming. And this is still in the present. So all possibilities are game, okay? Everything's okay, however wild or silly. And again, no judgment. No judgment, just like no reaction. Everything's cool. You just let it be. Okay, well, that's an interesting possibility. You know, well, I could borrow your best silk dress that you wore in your wedding. Yeah, that's a possibility. But in the brainstorming, we're not going to say, we're not going to judge. Okay? Then we're going to start in the future. We're going to say which solution. You're going to brainstorm solutions. Okay, I meant to say that. You're going to brainstorm solutions, and then you're going to say, which solutions work? Will we choose? Notice we choose. And you reality test them. So, if you go there and you play basketball, you play the ball game, and you're no good, then what? Okay, if you wore my silk dress, would I like that? I wouldn't feel very good about that. You reality test, and you check with both people, okay? Now, sometimes you get here and it causes another conflict. So what do? You're fine-tuning, right? You've got a solution that's really the sticky wicket. That's the issue that you don't want to talk about, right? Sometimes you end up going back up here. And that's okay. But you're closer now. The story has come from this big thing down to this small thing. You might need to apply these same steps. Okay, so you don't want me to use the silk dress. Yeah, I don't, because it's really important to me from the past. Or in this case, we're not going to let you play ball because you're lousy. And I can't think of a scenario. Never mind, I can't think of one. My brain's not operating that way. That thing's very distracting for me out there. So you come and you look at the possibilities. What can we do? What are some solutions to this? Now, I'm going to say this. All of this is predicated on either having a mediator do it with you, or two people being willing, or one person being really good at this.
No, I'm just scratching.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh.
Okay. Or one person being really good at this. I'm going to admit that. But I've had people come at me mad. I mean, I did it with a star last week. She came at me mad, and in my head I'm going, we're going to talk about the past. She's venting about the past. Okay, and we're going to bring it to the present. Okay, how are we going to get her out the door in 45 minutes? Okay, and boom, boom, boom. Constantly thinking about that. So it's just a blueprint that you wear in your brain. And sometimes somebody's here first, but you make sure you go back and you cover the past, or you make sure you get into the present moment. You always make sure, when in doubt, so what's happening? So what would you like to do now? If you could wave a magic wand and make this perfect, what would you do? You know, bring it to the present. And then you'll find, it is a magic wand. The present is the magic wand. So right now I've just laid out a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, here's the thing. Here's another word here, another phrase I want to say. And it's the hardest thing. Name the problem. People argue all around the map, and you discover that they're not arguing about the same thing. So what would you say the problem is?
Communication.
Well, and there's another one. And, no, that wasn't one. Communication is always a problem. How are we going to talk about this? And I didn't do this very well just now. And with them, with the kids, I would have said, so in the future, if this happens, what are you going to do? Well, and I kind of fixed that for them. I said, you'll come to me, right? Or can you talk it out? How will you deal with this in the future? Okay, and that's a big one, especially in marriages, especially in close relationships. I really hate it. So much of the time, the issue is not the toilet seat or the blonde at the party. The issue is how it was addressed. As John Gottman says, how a situation is initiated is how it will end up. How you begin is your ending. And who was the blonde last night? Somebody.
None of your business.
What's the end going to be? Yes. It's going to be a stomping off. It's going to be a shutting down, right? And that's, we're going to talk about that next week, those differences. Would you like to see this done? Here's a fair scenario. I can do this with one of you. We can have a fight about something, okay? Or I could do it with Astara. You're going to do it with me and somebody else hold camera.
Sure.
And you know, the thing is, she knows the situation. It would be really cool if one of you would do it because you don't know the steps and you're mad at me, okay? And what I want to show you is how, if just you knows how to do this and the other people in your world don't, you can still make it happen.